we're used to seeing stars and they, we're just shocked when they taste defeat. People saw with Ali and, I know with Roy Jones and Pacquiao, even if they have losing for it, Mike Tyson, when you see it, it's shocking. But there's a different element to this. We're talking about the GOAT, of course. Connect with, fellas. The GOAT is done with MMA. Go ahead, Q.
It's a whiff. I don't think she's done. I don't think she want to go out like that. Not that I agree. I don't knock her for want to stay there and clean up. I just worry about her on the other end, the end that I really care about. I care about her in all aspects, but more in the boxing, because that's where she, is so great at. MMA, I think she, it just takes so much time to really, lock. You got to lock in at home. Like you said, you got to pick one almost. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see her stopping. I don't see her stopping right there. So whiff on my end.
What you got on, JD?
Ditto. I agree wholeheartedly with Q. I think it's a whiff. I think ultimately, Cliff has too much pride and ego to lose an MMA fight and then just walk away after one loss, being at 1-1. Maybe if that was like Claressa's second or third L, then maybe I could see her, hanging it up and be like, let me go back and dominate boxing. But she's definitely not done. But the MMA stuff might slow down if this UK stuff pop off though. So
right, there we go.
Savannah Marshall.
She don't need no more MMA fights between now and that Savannah Marshall,
right?
Mm-hmm. Period.
All right. So as we move on to the second topic, and this is an interesting one for me, but I'll let you guys handle this one. And the reason why I say interesting, because there's been a lot of questions. Oh, when is he gonna fight a real boxer? He needs to fight people. If he's a real boxer, he needs to fight real boxers. Well, now he's fighting a real boxer with the same amount of experience as far as a pro, might I add, and that is Jake Paul versus. There's so many Furies. Is it Tommy Fury?
Yeah, it's Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury. I was like, Huey Fury. Is it Tommy or Huey? All right, fighting Tommy Fury on December 18th in our backyard, Tampa, Florida. Connect or whiff? That is a proving ground fight for both fighters. Go ahead, take it, JD.
Oh, without a doubt, man, that's a connect. Off the rip, that's a connect. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people who, when we kept seeing him fight a faded MMA fighter after faded MMA fighter, I was like, at some point he's gonna have to fight somebody who's got some real boxing experience. And so I can't lie, I'm pleasantly surprised that he's actually gonna take on Tommy Fury. And again, it makes a lot of sense, because I think I even hear that Tommy Fury has notoriety from some type of show in the UK himself, like Love Island. He was on something, some kind of bachelor type of show in the UK. So it all makes sense at this point. You got a fighter in Tommy Fury who is kind of suspect himself, starting boxing out, I don't think too early in life. You got Paul, who's sitting here, not much experience really, except starting out pretty late with boxing. So, and at the end of the day, it's going to generate a whole lot of dollars and cents for both of them. So it makes a lot of sense, man. So I'm happy to see that fight transpire. So it's definitely a connect for me.
Q, what you got on it?
Yeah, I agree. It's a connect, man. I think it's a decent matchup. And my man is a boxer. He's not coming from any other platform. So, I can't say I'm super excited to see it, but I will watch it. I ain't gonna knock it. That's what we've been asking for. And I'll be ready to check it out.
And throw this wrinkle in there too. The other thing that actually got me even more hype about the fight is, come to find out, Amanda Serrano will be the co-feature on the undercard.
Oh, again, that's dope.
So dope. Amanda Serrano is utilizing that Paul wave. I believe she's actually signed to his promotional company.
Yes.
So she's signed to him. So I think that's dope to see another top pound for pound woman get that high of a platform of visibility out there to kind of elevate her status in the sport.
I'll say this. This is definitely I'm excited, because if he's a real boxer, and that's either one of them. You know, you got Fury coming from a fighting family, of course. Well, we're about to find out December 18th. It's about to be, oh wait, we could take Jake Paul seriously. Oh, it's
and I'm definitely excited it's in Tampa. You know what I mean? That's
big
more
it's in our backyard. Yeah,
in the 813 straight out.
Speaking of backyard, man, shout out to all the Rattlers, man. Florida A&M homecoming was last weekend, bro.
You see, I got the jacket.
The dumb way.
Right quick. I mean, repping for the Rattlers.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, I got the shirt. I see you.
Shirt, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me switch my hat.
Shout out to all them in the 850.
But hey, somebody, man, wrecked. What the hell going on? Somebody wrecked a brand new Ferrari into somebody's house. West Arp Street. Crazy.
Are you serious?
On everything.
Wow.
Check out What's Happening Tally, man. It's on What's Happening. I'm like, what? Somebody,
when flexing that homecoming goes wrong.
I'm trying
exactly. I hope it wasn't a rental.
Goes wrong.
I hope it wasn't a rental.
Oh,
if I had to bet, I'd say it was a rental.
Oh yeah, it was a rental.
Hey,
you know, it was a rental.
They're gonna have to replace that somehow.
If you own a Ferrari, you probably done drove it before enough.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping it wasn't a rental because they're gonna need a replacement. Speaking of replacements, man, we was all getting hyped and talking about Gervonta Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. Like, you know, this is going to be a great fight to be sold, and at the very least, bombs are going to be thrown. And you know, we gave Rolly a puncher's chance, but now it seems like Rolly needs to be replaced. He has some legal affairs going on. We won't get too far into on Boxing Vibes just because everybody's innocent until proven guilty, but he may be pulled from the card. So Devin Haney, who's always seems to be in the mix, but not in the ring, has thrown his hat into it.
Hey, man, you're going to stop with these shots on the Haneys, brother. We're going to talk about that.
Well, I'm just saying he's in the mix, but we never necessarily see him in the ring against opponents that he, you know, him and Lomachenko had been going back and forth, and that didn't come off. We saw him in T.O., and that's not coming, you know, that obviously is not happening. It wasn't going to happen anytime soon anyway, because we got Kambosos coming up. And now he's throwing his hat in the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis. Connector Whiff, we'll see Devin Haney step in place of Rolly to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Go ahead, Q.
Man, listen, I hope I would love to see that fight. That would be a big pay-per-view fight. I don't care what nobody say. That fight would do well. I would like to see it, and I would like to see one of the best offensive fighters in the game and one of the best defensive fighters, one of the best punchers and one of the not so best chins, but you know what I'm saying? Elite skilled boxer. I would like to see, I think that matchup would be crazy. I think it might be a better fight than people think, you know, while it lasts. I do think, you know what I'm saying? It'll get bad. It will get bad. But I would like to see it. I'm gonna say a connect on hope like I do.
All right.
What you got on the JD?
You know, I'm gonna say it's a whiff, man. I'm gonna say honestly, I don't see Haney replacing Rolly, unfortunately. Not right now. I still think, and for a few reasons. Like, one of the reasons I'm gonna say is because people forget that Floyd Money Mayweather is actually also a mentor to Devin Haney as well. Floyd, and a lot of people forget that there actually was a slight rift between Floyd and Tank for a brief little moment.
And when he picked sides and
when he was in his own gym training Haney, and Tank felt the kind of way. But of course, naturally, him and Mayweather hashed it out. They squashed it. They saw eye to eye on how things would go. But nevertheless, Mayweather is kind of he's the real promoter and mentor to Tank Davis, and then he's also kind of a pseudo mentor to Haney, even though he's with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. So I don't see it happening for that reason, A. And then B, I don't see it happening because I believe all Eddie Hearn and Matchroom is trying to do by throwing this out there in the air is, according to Eddie, he also said that they've offered Jojo Diaz, who was scheduled to fight Ryan Garcia before his hand injury. The Haney camp has legitimately offered Jojo Diaz even more money to fight Haney than he would have gotten to fight Ryan Garcia. So I think this is also a move by Eddie Hearn to throw out kind of a subliminal threat to the JoJo Diaz camp that, hey, you're going to lose out on this payday with Devin Haney if he can go land tank and y'all still haven't signed a contract. So I think ultimately, if JoJo Diaz wants to fight with Haney, that's really what's going to end up happening. So it's a whiff for me, man. I don't see next. And especially what they're supposed to fight, December 5th? December 5th, we all know, man, it's November 1st right now. We all know that Devin Haney is not going to roll out of bed and in 4 weeks go run into the ring and fight Gervonta Tank Davis.
Mr. Gary Russell Jr. say they need to take the training wheels off and get into him. You know what I'm saying? From what I Mr. Gary Russell Jr.,
yeah, man, he won all the smoke.
Bro, they blackballing Gary Russell.
I hope they are. I like it for his career, but because he do a lot of talking for us not to see him in action. So
there's something going on, bro. Like it is.
Yeah. So hopefully that's the case, because we would love to see Gary Russell out there, and he's a talented fighter, and we haven't seen him, and he's a belt holder if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I think it
shoot,
like the
so long
running
at 126. Hey, bro, because if he is a belt holder, I'd be surprised they ain't stripped him yet.
Yeah, no, but I think me and you were talking about this
inactive.
The fact that he is a belt holder, and they did that to Pacquiao, but Gary Russell's been inactive. And we were talking about this about you guys, them forcing him to fight the next guy up instead of making a Spence fight. And he just got the title. And you don't sit there, you don't strip it from Gary Russell, you don't. So if I'm not mistaken, in the previous conversation, I think Gary Russell is a belt holder. So, it's one of those gridlock things in boxing. We've seen it with Andre Ward. We've seen it with fighters here and there. We've seen it with Ryan Garcia. He had health issues, things of that nature. So, it happens in boxing, but we do want to see Gary Russell, man, come back into the ring. And, for Boxing Vibes, man, we'll always be back. But for now, that's our time.
Hold on, right quick, man. Before we got to speak on that first round KO right quick from Zepeda to was it Josue? Josue, was it Vargas? Josue Vargas, I think was his name.
Right, don't make me. I'm the last one to ask.
Man, I gotta say that was a heck of zap. Exactly what it was. Q. It was a straight zap. Might have been within that first 30.
That's the craziest shit all year.
You know what I mean? So and one of the craziest things, man, is that for the young kid, he was in his hometown, fighting in front of his home crowd.
Where you from?
From the Bronx, I believe. From the Bronx.
You got boogie down.
It was in NYC, so he had his whole crowd behind him. And matter of fact, speaking of Danny Garcia, early in the show, Danny Garcia escorts him to the ring for the fight, and then it was sad to see. I mean, although he held his head high after taking that L to Zepeda, he held his head high, but that was disappointing to see after all the fanfare of being in front of your hometown audience and everybody coming to support you, to take that kind of an L so quickly. And I was thinking about this, man. I want to see what you all's guys' thoughts are on this right quick, just kind of as we wrap up. But I thought about after the fight, because they kept asking Josue Vargas's dad, did they feel that it was too soon for them to have taken that kind of leap up the totem pole to a fighter like Zepeda, who's right there, on the cusp of being elite. And of course, Zepeda said there's levels to this, man. They should have done that to him. But I will say, when I sat back and I thought about it, the kid was 23. And I think he already had 20 bouts. And now y'all tell me if I'm tripping, but I kind of feel like if you're 23 and you already have 20 bouts, 20 professional bouts, you had to have been fighting a lot of scrubs. If you're already at 20,
you will fight more scrubs in the ER.
You know what I mean? Like so he was 19-1, and I think his one loss was a disqualification. So that was his only L, but he was 19-1, only 23 years old. And I thought, I'm like, yeah, man, they jumped up too soon. way too soon. Because for you to be only 23 and you got 20 pro fights under your belt, only fighters we see doing that is your Canelos who start fighting at 16 over in Mexico, padding their record. But I kind of think that's, you know what I mean?
They thought they was gonna get a cheap little title, and
boy.
I
mean, when you see him getting caught with the punches, bro, you know it ain't gonna last. You like, oh no, like, bro, my man, them was bombs. He wasn't ready for none of them. Like, I don't see a rematch or anything.
Oh no, a rematch not happening,
bro. That you don't need it.
And furthermore, after the fight, they kind of were talking about the mistake of him dropping his right hand. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think it's so much as the right hand, right? I think, again, if we talk about experience, if anybody goes in the ring and they step in with Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, they could be a heavyweight with a decent experience. But if you never felt that power or anything near that power, you're gonna go to sleep. You're gonna go to sleep. So they try to say it was about him making the fatal mistake of dropping his right hand, which is a legit mistake. The right
puncher could punch your right hand and make your right hand punch you and put you to sleep. Right. Just like Wilder did to Vern in round one.
Yeah, so it's interesting just to see that, man. But shout out to Zepeda. I think he's looking onward. I think he really wants a Josh Taylor fight. That would be an intriguing fight to see Josh Taylor get in there with a Zepeda and see how that would go. But definitely Zepeda made quick work this past Saturday of Josue Vargas, man.
I really like the first round knockouts, man. Oh, that was a good week. It was a good week.
And this fight was at 140, correct?
Yep, 140, bro. Yep.
And this is what I don't like about boxing before we get out of here. What belt at 140 was he fighting for? Because if I'm not mistaken, there's a man who fought a unification bout and he has all 4 belts that matter, and a Josh Taylor.
I think it was like the WBC silver.
Yeah, I think it was some good.
the great value belt.
Yeah, right.
But you say it was a great value belt?
Great value belt.
That's what they were fighting for.
All right, y'all. This is officially our time, man. This is Boxing Vibe. I love clowning around with y'all, man, and hopefully y'all love us.
We
love y'all, man. Take us out, fellas.
You already know. Download, stream, all platforms. You already know. Boxing Vibez TV.
Boxing Vibez TV, man. I mean,
we out.
Bad boy. We out.
And we out.